Welcome. I'm your host, Dustin.
And I'm your co-host, Dean.
And joining us today are the musical artists of the Outwaters, Salem, Belladonna, and Tim Eriksen. So let's all die in the dark. Salem, Tim, how you both doing?
Doing all right today.
Likewise here.
Hell yeah. It's kind of cold here in Massachusetts right now, but it's
Well, I
no.
saw people out with the sugar buckets out already. It's too early for sugar season, but anyway.
Yeah. I know last week it was brutally cold here. It was like -10. Like I was sending screenshots to Dean and it was the coldest I remember it being here in Massachusetts. Anyway, Dean, he's over in the UK, so I mean like his weather patterns, you guys are kind of similar.
It's always cold. It's
us.
always cold in the UK. It's always cold over here. That's why I'm dressed up like an Eskimo today, because it's super cold today. It's always raining, but that's cool. I love rain, man. I love rain. Rain's good for the soul.
Hell
I love
yeah.
rain.
Salem, where are you located?
I'm in Zebulon, North Carolina right now, and personally, I am not like a huge fan of the rain. I've been missing the desert and the LA life a little bit. But yeah, no, it's all right down here. We've got lots of trees, so I do love that.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Tim, are you still in Massachusetts?
Yeah, I'm out here in Western Mass.
Okay. So yeah, you're feeling it. So today we're going to be talking more about, the Outwaters, but this is a different one. This is more about the music, and we're going to be diving into, your careers and whatnot, and how you got involved. But this is an interesting one because Dean and I, we usually just talk to directors and actors, comic book artists, other artists, but we don't think we've ever had any musicians on. So this is our first. So this is awesome to have both of you on, and
it's such a big part of most films, and such a huge part of this one.
Oh, for sure. And thanks to Screenbox for lining this up for us as usual. I want to say, Dean, like 80% of our interviews are all Screenbox, right? Because
they're giving us a hell of a lot of stuff at the minute, yeah, which is great, man. We don't get Screenbox over here in the UK, so I get to see a lot of films that all my fellow horror fans over here want to see.
Yeah.
And they're like, how come you get to see Terrifier like a month before it's due to come out? I'm like, Screenbox.
Yeah.
How come? And like with the Outwaters as well, loads of people are like, oh, I'm so jealous you've seen it already. So yeah, thank you, Screenbox.
Yes. And
they're very kind to us.
There's always one thing I like to do when we have our guests on. So this is going to be a little bit different because it's not about, acting or anything like that. But I wanted to start, I guess, with you, Salem. When did music kind of become a passion for you? Like, what kind of, gave you that drive to be like, I want to do music?
I think a more intriguing question for me would be, when wasn't it there? I feel like so my parents are both musicians, so I was just born and raised into music. Basically started playing a keyboard as soon as I could physically reach it.
Awesome.
I started piano lessons at age 6, and I started writing music before that, basically just singing my own songs and writing my own melodies on the keyboard. And luckily, having both of my parents be musicians, they were very supportive of my art. So when I was 16, I actually left home to go study at a performing arts high school.
Oh, wow.
In a nearby city called Winston-Salem. Yeah, and that really informed the depth of my classical practice, and sort of expanding on my composing, art music sort of composing realm. So yeah, sort of been a lifelong thing for me.
Oh, wow. What about you, Tim? When did it kind of, all come together for you?
Yeah, same general timeline, but completely different trajectory. I was playing hardcore punk and studying South Indian classical music, and I still have yet to really learn much about chords, but I love a lot of different kinds of music, including classical and classical derived inspired music.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
You're a fan of punk music, Tim?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you're a fan of punk music?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, punk's my thing, man. I'm a huge fan of punk. I've actually recorded an album with you. I don't know if you know a band called Killing Joke.
Sure.
Yeah, I recorded an album with Youth from Killing Joke. We went over to his
Oh,
studio
really?
we spent a week with youth in Spain recording with him, and that was a trip. I don't remember much about it though. There's a lot of that going on.
Dean, I'll let you kind of start off with some questions. I know you got some over there. I always like to make sure you're getting your stuff in before I start diving into mine.
Oh yeah, man, no worries. So yeah, I guess how did you guys become involved with the Outwaters movie? How did that come around? Like, how did that go down? I guess start with you, Salem. Did you kind of know the guys already, or did they reach out to you and sort of ask you to be involved? When I say the guys, Robbie, I guess.
Yeah, I actually met Robbie through work. I used to canvas for Greenpeace, and that's how I met Robbie. He was running actually the LA division. And so it's kind of a ragtag bunch. So we're all kind of artists and creatives and had other things going on. So Robbie loved to show his films to people. And so one day he showed me the Outwaters, and I showed him some of my music, and he was like, hey, I need a dance song for the scene. So started with that, and then the relationship sort of blossomed from there, and now I just love writing music for him.
That's awesome. Oh yeah, man.
That's great. And yeah, how about you, Tim? How did Robbie reach out to you, or did you guys know each other?
He did, yeah. He's got an unusual interest in ballad singing, traditional song, and he knew my music. And I don't even remember exactly how, but he reached out, and I hadn't even seen the film until the screening last week.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, I decided not to watch it until I could see it on a big screen, and
good choice.
I just trusted him, just trusted his vibe, and I thought it was interesting that he wanted to include my music, and I think it was very appropriate and effective.
Oh yeah, all of the musical parts in this film, they all play an important role, and they all blend in with everything that's going on. Because I mean, this film, Salem, have you seen the movie?
I have, but I saw a prior version. I actually haven't seen the most updated version. I was kind of hoping to catch that at the New York premiere, but I'm not sure that's going to happen now.
Oh man, it's a ride. It's a ride. It really, really is. And also hearing the theme that you wrote for this too, like when it plays and how it plays, it's very, very powerful, and it's great.
Yeah, it's good.
And I have they sent me a playlist of all of the songs that are in it, including the ones that you both did. That theme is just so good. It's so good and so horrifying, but I love it. I love it so much.
Thank you so
much. And Tim, hearing How Come That Blood live was really, really cool, and also hearing things in the film that were yours, is everything in this film, like, it has a purpose. And him picking both of you to be part of this project, I think really helped drive this film be what it is, because it's a very, I keep saying this because it's very true, it's a very audio driven experience more than it is visually. Yeah, for sure.
I could imagine listening to the movie as an album. Cut out a little of the dialogue and just but the soundscapes and the really, really interesting choices, the varieties of music, I think to my sense help to drive the character, the relationships, and the just giving a sense of who these folks are and how they relate.
Yeah, I would love that.
I'm pretty sure when we were speaking to, because we spoke with Robbie the other week, and I'm pretty sure he did the sound design on iMovie. Did he say? I know he edited it on iMovie, and he shot it on the Canon 70D.
I believe so.
Yeah, I think he did everything through that, which is so weird because you never hear that with someone editing something that they're using that software.
Right. Yeah, exactly, because it's quite basic, but he's done such a fantastic job. And I listened to it. So we don't have Outwaters at any theatres over here in the UK, so I had to watch it. I had to watch it on a screen on my laptop, which isn't ideal, but I put my headphones in and I was fucking blown away. I was just like, woo, what's going on, man? My head was rattling, and at one point I even threw my headphones off. I was like, Jesus, what's going on? It was but yeah, it was great, and the music was so haunting. It was great. It was really cool, and it almost felt like it was a different song every scene, and it just kind of built and built and built, and yeah, it was it, like you said, Dustin, it was a ride.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it really is. And I've at the showing, Tim. I think that was my fourth or fifth time seeing this film, from the screeners and whatnot. And actually going to see it again this weekend. So it would be my fifth or sixth time seeing it. So seeing it in another theater and hearing, the songs and everything, and seeing this on another screen, I'm so excited because I want to see how different theaters control the volumes and whatnot, because everybody uses different speakers and whatnot. So
You're
I want to
hardcore, man.
see how all the other theaters around here are projecting the sounds. I'm super
Are you
intrigued with
going
that.
down to New York on Saturday? It sounds like play some more. Are you gonna be down there?
No, unfortunately. I would love to do that. I want to go to like these other, bigger city screenings and whatnot, but just, life gets in the way sometimes. But one of
Yeah.
these times I'll definitely be at one of these awesome events for sure. But Salem, going back to you in the theme,
Yeah.
did you have free control over that, or did Robbie give you some kind of pointers of what he wanted for this, or did you already have this like made and you just wanted to be like, can we use this in the film?
Yeah, Robbie usually comes to me with sort of a groundwork idea of what he's looking for, but he does leave a lot of flexibility. So actually, we approach different pieces in different ways. But yeah, this one he showed me what he had been using as sort of the placeholder in the original version of the film before he had the original music placed in.
Oh, okay.
Um, and so I based it loosely off of that. But what I ended up creating is quite different than what he showed me, and he was happy with it anyways. So.
Wow. Yeah, it's a really powerful theme because there's so many things going on with it, and I know that you're referred to as like a creepy pop, which I think is so awesome, and I love that. Like I don't think I've ever heard those two like things be combined, and it really does sum up your type of music, and that theme really enhances that. And I actually play it in the car all the time because it's on
Oh my
Spotify.
God.
I'm not even kidding.
That means so much to me to hear. Wow. No, I had a lot of fun. I wanted to comment. You mentioned earlier that the music sort of creates like this horror like discomfort. I purposely wrote that piece to try to like make certain aspects really uncomfortable, but particularly the last note. I like
Yes.
made myself uncomfortable with like how long I wanted to hold that, and I really just wanted people to like melt and sink into like the disorientation.
Yeah. And like all like the background like chantings and stuff that goes on in that, like, oh my God. Like the way that you balanced everything, it lines up so well, and because there's so many things going on. But that's kind of like what the film is too. So you're really playing on both things there, and the film enhances that. And I love that so much. And it was awesome to hear in the theater too. It was all super loud. I was like, whoa, this is great.
Yeah,
Loved
they had
it.
a good sound. I was happy about that. That's
Yeah,
not always the case.
yeah, for sure. And Tim, I think Robbie just used songs you've already wrote, right? Is there any original pieces that he put in there that you made
No,
specific for the film?
the pieces that he used were actually traditional folk songs. One of which is from my town out here in Western Massachusetts.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's one of these songs that travels around. It's I guess people call it a murder ballad or whatever. And it takes different forms, and in the UK and Ireland and other pretty much English speaking places you can find it.
Okay, cool. Cool. Dean, if you have anything else you want to throw into the pot, go ahead, dude.
Yeah, man. What I'm just gonna say, what kind of what sort of music do you guys listen to? What are you inspired by? What did you grow up on? For me, I was a big Beatles fan, being from the UK. I love all that kind of stuff.
You're so
Um,
cliche, Dean.
I know it's so cliche. I know. But yeah, man, the Beatles come on. I know, Tim, you were saying you used to play in hardcore punk bands. What kind of stuff did you grow up listening to? Starting with you, Tim. Were you inspired by when you write?
I mean, it's kind of crazily all over the place, but I still play with the hardcore punk band, and I have a 9-piece experimental band that's more kind of it's got a Hardinger fiddle and
That's awesome.
analog synth and the electronic trumpet, and it's got kind of a doom quartet as the core, but it's sort of classically. I really there's really not any. I can't think of a genre that I don't like. I can think of plenty of music that I don't care to listen to, but and in the past couple of years, one of the things that's been really, I've said this a couple of times, but I think we're in a kind of musical golden age because people associate me mostly with older traditional music, banjo and fiddle and things. I sometimes get asked, what I think about music today, and I think the expectation is that I'm going to say, it's all a bunch of, it's crappy. Music used to be better, but I think we're in just amazing time period, both in terms of the things that are coming out and also our access to them. I mean, YouTube, especially. I'm not a big Spotify fan, but YouTube, I love the cheesy handheld camera. That's some of my favorites. That Aurora, the Norwegian singer. Just like fan videos on iPhones. That's kind of been my big thing. A lot of Doom as well.
Hell yeah.
Mostly through the handheld.
A lot of Doom through the handheld. Cool, man. Aurora, we'll have to check that out.
Aurora, Lingua Ignota, who's an artist over here. Anyway, just thinking of a lot of people. Never mind.
Awesome, man. And what about yourself, Salem? What growing up, kind of what sort of bands or musicians did you listen to, or what inspired you?
I would say I relate a lot to what Tim was just saying, as far as like, I agree that we're in this golden age, and it's really, there's not a genre that I could say that I don't like or that I didn't enjoy or haven't been influenced by. I grew up listening to, I would say, I mean, obviously classical, but my dad was an 80s metal rocker. So I grew up.
Hell yeah.
Rock and metal. I would say I do love pop, obviously. I've been very inspired, actually. I used to be more closed off to actually a lot of the modern pop, but that's recent. The last couple years, I've sort of opened my mind to just how incredible that can be. Gosh, and I would say like Kate Bush. She's just hands down.
Okay, yeah.
Love Kate Bush.
Inspiration.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot of influences going around. So me, as we were talking before here, we're kind of going over how we're all, dive into a little bit of music here. Dean, I know you've been in some bands that almost made it, which is great, and you can actually listen to Dean's stuff. I think it's on YouTube, right? Some of the stuff. Yeah. So.
Yes, it is. But we get told, if I ever share any of it, I get told off by the singer for sharing it.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes, right?
So the singer's dad was like a big famous English actor, and she was just a fucking brat. She was really hard work. Great performer, amazing performer, yeah, but really, really hard work. But I don't know, it was cool. It was fun.
Yeah. And I was in, a couple bands.
I don't remember a lot of it. There was a lot of drinking involved back then.
Of course. I was in a couple bands, growing up, mainly in high school and whatnot. Metal, of course, a lot of like 80s influenced stuff. So Salem, I'm right there with, growing up on all the 80s metal and whatnot, and even like, 90s grunge and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But, even I feel like now I'm in like a point in my life where I've kind of like chilled down with the type of music that I listen to. I listen to a lot more softer stuff. I'm still, in there with like, the metal and everything. So like Tim, like I went through some of your discography and I was like, wow, this is really good. Because Outwaters introduced me to both of you, and I've been kind of going through all your discographies, and I have to say I love everything the both of you are doing, and I want more of what you're doing, more movies. So I think people need to reach out to both of you to go do some more movies.
Yeah, I think it's really cool that Robbie pulled together such an interesting array of music, and I would love to work more. And Salem, if you ever want to do a collab, let me know.
Absolutely.
That'd be awesome.
Actually, I was gonna say, I totally forgot to mention one of my big inspirations growing up in North Carolina has been Appalachian music and bluegrass. So, and I love your voice, Tim. Oh my God, like it just melts my heart. So,
Sweet, sweet. Well, let's do it.
hell yeah.
Oh my God, yes! I want to listen to that. You're hearing that here first. It's just not going to be a collab. So that's
Creepy
awesome.
folk pop.
Yes, I've been waiting for that.
Oh yeah, awesome! Wow, we're making dreams come true over here, Dean, aren't we? Man, this show has been so crazy. Go ahead, Dean.
We've met a lot of cool people along the way, that's for sure. Have you guys got any more plans for any more soundtracks, any more music for films, film scores, anything like that? Salem, have you got anything like that in the works at all, or are you planning to kind of maybe work with Robbie again on his next projects?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you brought that up. Actually, the next big film that I'm working on with Robbie is called Tinsman Road, and I believe it's premiering in March at a festival in San Francisco. Can I say Unnamed Footage Festival? So let's see. Gosh, I totally just lost my train of thought. But oh yeah, no, Tinsman Road, and so I'm really excited about that. That's got a lot more of my folk music and kind of exploring a range of different genres there.
Awesome.
Amazing. Anything outside of working with Robbie at all?
Personal projects. I've got a collaboration with one or two other artists right now. And just personal project I've been working on is sort of a solo album for a little while now. So slow progress, but definitely planning on releasing some more songs over the next couple months from that.
Awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah. Amazing. And what about yourself, Tim? Are you involved in the Tinsman Road project?
I don't have any film stuff coming up. I'm recording some hardcore, and I'm doing an album with a guy named Omar Sosa, a wonderful piano player, Afro-Cuban piano player. We did one a couple of years ago, and we're doing a follow-up, recording that out in San Francisco in May. And then I've been writing for the bluegrass singer Alison Krauss, so I'm looking forward to hearing her versions of my songs.
Oh yeah,
wow.
Man, that's great.
A lot of really big stuff happening for both of you.
Did she do a record with Robert Plant? That
was the last one that came out, yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, man. That's very cool.
Wow. I'm excited for this. I'll have to keep my eye out, or if you guys want to send it to me, I'll listen to it and I'll promote it. Because that's awesome. I do want to see, like I said, both of you in films again. It doesn't have to be like a horror or anything like that, but just I think since you both were talking about how this is like a golden age for music and whatnot, and I do agree with that. And films, I think, have been really being a big part of that as well, and bringing a lot of independent artists to the light, and giving them a chance, and people go and listen to them, or you got shows that are bringing back artists that people may have forgotten about, and you're like, wow, I gotta go check that out. So film, in a way, has been bringing a lot of things back from the dead and giving things a lot of new life and whatnot. And it really ties in with indie horror and indie filmmaking, and this movie is all of that. And it's bringing both of you to the light and getting people to listen to your music. And Tim, you coming out and performing live to open up a film, or Salem, who knows if you have plans of doing an opening for one of the screenings as well. Like, that's awesome, and I want more from both of you, and I want more films to reach out to people like yourselves to be like, hey, we want you to be part of this project.
Well, I appreciate the thought.
Yeah, I mean, it needs to happen. It needs to, right? I mean, you need to make these things happen. I like to, will as many things into the universe as I possibly can, and I'm willing that one right now.
Hey, man, I've got it. Outwaters on tour. Like, all the musicians from the Outwaters.
And Robbie can play his original music too.
Oh,
that
come
would be
on,
sick.
there we go.
All right,
yeah,
we gotta reach out to Robbie.
Set you guys up at the Royal Albert Hall over here. That's the perfect venue for it. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Definitely. Do you guys actually have any plans for any tours at all, or any plans to kind of, maybe come over to the UK, play some shows, or Tim? Guess start.
I'm usually over there. I haven't been over there actually since the pandemic, but I used to be over there a couple times a year usually.
Oh, cool, man. Whereabouts would you hang out? I guess you would do sort of around Camden.
Well, I have a duo with a woman named Eliza Carthy up in Scarborough. near Scarborough in Yorkshire.
rings a bell.
And so we, we tour, and I tour solo and stuff. And I actually had I toured with a band that did exclusively, it's like sort of psych rock takes on whaling ballads in like a multimedia show. We played in the Cutty Sark, the belly of the Cutty Sark.
Oh,
It
wow.
only fits like 100 people, but
Yeah.
it was a pretty fun thing to do.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that sounds cool. What about yourself, Salem? Any plans? Do you tour around?
No tours lined up right now. I'm sort of just focusing on relocating back to LA and hopefully start doing a little more gigging once I've sort of found my new home base.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I'll
Very
be looking
cool.
out for those tour dates if they do happen. For sure.
I played a gig on a boat once. Actually, I played a gig on a barge.
Was it the Thekla? The Thekla? Oh, sorry, the Thekla in Bristol. There's two barge clubs in Bristol, but anyway.
Oh no, it's an actual barge, like a tiny, like a little houseboat barge.
Oh yeah.
But it was on. I think they call it Little Venice. It's basically like a canal that kind of runs up through the
in London.
In London, yeah. And it was a party, and there was loads of people on this tiny little barge boat, and then a band just kind of squidged in the corner. It was really weird, but it was good fun. It was good fun. Not quite the Cutty Sark, but
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
That must have been an experience. Definitely, that's cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Awesome.
Oh, go ahead, Dean.
No, that's it, man. I'm good.
Oh, you good? Okay. So I wanted to ask about this as well, because the pandemic, everybody was kind of like locked indoors and whatnot, and a lot of people got really creative, especially musically. Did that breathe any new life into any projects that either of you were doing? Is there anything that you're still working on that was from that? Salem, I know you said you were working on some collaborations. Was that something that was happening during all of that, or is that something that just started recently happening now?
The main collaboration I've been working on just picked up in the last month or so. But I would say, it's an interesting question. It's online because we're sort of scattered across the country. And I am working primarily online. But I don't think the pandemic had anything to do with that. It just sort of worked very conveniently.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Tim?
The pandemic was fantastic. I mean, death and destruction and financial ruin aside, it was great. I had just it opened up all kinds of possibilities, because I wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
And the government was sending me money, so I could spend it on guitars. My children, of course, but
your second children.
Yeah, right. Had at least a little bit, extra time and a little bit of money to play with. And so, I got all kinds of things. This hardcore band that I'm playing with, we hadn't played in ages. It was a band I started with my brother when he was 10 years old.
Oh wow!
But we hadn't played until the pandemic. Just kind of like everybody's he's a sailor, so he wasn't able to be sailing and stuff. So, we're still working on it. I'm pretty excited about the 4 or 5 different things that were kind of directly connected to the pandemic.
Oh wow, you both are really, really busy. I love that. I love seeing people go and have sparks and have so many things going on, because it makes me have more things to look forward to. So going back to that, this show kind of got spawned from the pandemic and whatnot. And Dean, he's been a new co-host for about 7 months, I want to say. Like I said, this is a very special episode for having 2 musicians on. That it's so weird, not having to ask questions related to film and kind of have a little bit of a breather when it comes to music and whatnot. And hearing that you both are doing very well and successful and being picked up with Robbie and getting some more light shined on you and whatnot, it's great to see. And I'm really looking forward to all the projects that you got going on. Really, really am.
And Outwaters on tour as well.
Yes, that needs to happen. Okay, all
I'm
3 of us.
To Robbie.
Actually, all 4 of us need to email Robbie and say, so when is this tour happening?
Yeah.
Well, he talks about
Outwaters
soundtracks, so
live.
maybe who knows. I love the idea of the different kinds of things represented being put together on one show. That's my favorite kind of thing, is seeing shows that are, just a interesting range of music.
Oh yeah, I want to see that too.
That could work, man. A lot of visuals from the film as well. You could get a lot of the kind of desert visuals
Oh
in
yeah,
the movie and just have the. That's a great.
All I'm thinking of is
great
the
idea.
poster for that show, because there's so many awesome posters out right now that would
Yeah.
be sick.
We could all, get out our scariest music. I think that could be super fun.
Hell yeah! Especially Salem opening up with that theme. Oh
Yeah.
yes.
And they could do it so everyone has to listen. You know, like when you go to those silent discos and everyone listens through their headphones. So everyone has to listen
Oh
through
yeah.
their. Man, we're taking this. We're taking this to different levels, man. This is. We need to pitch this idea to Robbie.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, we really do. So that would be awesome. But as Robbie is his own musician as well, does he ever like reach out and want to do actual like collabs on his side? Because I know he mainly does all the music himself. But Salem, has he reached out and wanted to do anything with the two of you, like duetting or anything like that?
No, nothing that's not related to like film. No, I don't think he I could be wrong here. I don't think he considers himself much of a musician, which I find hilarious because I love his voice and his music. So yeah, we've got a show to put on here.
Yeah, he has such a haunting voice, and when we interviewed him too, he's like, "Yeah, I kind of just do it as like a hobby." I'm like, "What do you mean? Like, you need to like go out and like branch out more because your songs are great and you have such a great voice." It's, I don't know. I guess some people are just like that. He's more into, I want to do the filming. That's like his main thing. I get it. But Tim, has he reached out to you about doing any kind of collabs or anything?
No, I reached out to him because I've had some ideas for some video stuff that I'd like to do, and it'd be fun to work together some more.
Oh yeah, that would be
We'll
awesome.
see. My phone is about to die, by the way, so if I disappear, it's not because I don't like y'all.
Oh, okay. If you can cut out if you need to. That's not a big deal unless you want to hang on until it goes out.
Yeah, I'll hang on until it dies.
All right, no worries. But in case if you do get cut out, Tim, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'll definitely be keeping an eye out to see if you're going to be playing around Mass anywhere. But Dean, do you have any other questions you want to throw to the board, man? Anything music related?
No, I'm good, man. I'm good. Everything I've got on the list has been answered in other questions.
Yeah, that's what happens so much with this show too. We have I have a whole thing of questions, and it's like once I run out of them, I'm like, okay, now I don't know what to say. But then we start talking, and everything goes really, really well, and I like that. But Salem, I wanted to ask you, since you kind of do a little bit of everything with instruments, right? Do you have like a main one you like to do? I know you said you started with piano, but is there one that you prefer over another?
Yeah, my primary instrument is cello for sure. But I would say I'm probably equally split between a cello, voice, and piano as far as like my strongest instruments go. But yeah, I also can play around with guitar, bass, and I have bought a sitar, so I hope to start lessons soon.
Oh, that's awesome. Tim, what about you? I know you're mainly guitar, right?
Yeah, mostly strings, and play some flutes now and again. Can't do them at the same time. That's the problem.
Oh man, well we got to come up with an invention that will allow you to do that. Dean, what about you? What's your primary instrument, dude?
Ooh, it's the guitar for me. I started off with the piano or the keyboard when I was a kid. When I was like very young. But yeah, guitar's my main instrument. But I can pretty much, as I was saying earlier on, I'm one of these kind of lucky bastards that can just pick anything up and just play it, or at least learn it fairly quickly. I don't know, saying earlier on about the didgeridoo, apart from the circular breathing, I've managed to master all the sounds and the noises, but even things like the blues harp and stuff like that. I remember when I first picked up a harmonica, and you can just do the suck and blow, but then actually kind of bend in the notes. And I remember somebody who played it really, really well trying to explain to me how you bend the notes on a blues harp, and I was like, what? But then and then all of a sudden you're kind of just playing around with it, and you do it, and you're like, point, like, wow, that's how you do it. And I've always been good at just kind of picking something up and just learning how to play it. Basically, I'm self-taught with drums, keyboard, piano, bass, guitar. Man, give me an instrument, I could probably play it. Yeah. Not very well, but yeah, I've never been able to kind of master like trumpets or anything like that. That's the kind of thing I always kind of struggle with, like kind of brass instruments and anything like that. I've always never really got my head around them sort of things. But yeah, but I love music, man. Music's a huge part of my life, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and there. Oh, nope, there he is. Okay. So yeah, for me, I've mainly, been taught on drums, but I did pick up guitar for a little bit. I wanted to expand and do more, but life just gets in the way sometimes. So I envy, Salem and Tim and even Dean, where you're like, yeah, I do this almost for a living. Dean, you were doing it for a while before.
Yeah, well, I left school when I was like 16 and signed to Polygram for like a development publishing deal, like writing. And then I just kind of got into the circuit of like, playing shows in the West End. And then we played at like Hyde Park, supporting a big band there. Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. But yeah, I love it. I don't do it so much anymore because I just don't. I do more of this. Traveling into London to play shows is really hard work these days. You pay half of your gig fee out before you've even set foot in a venue, all the costs and stuff. So which sucks, man, because a lot of the venues are shutting down in London. All the cool venues. We've lost so many of them. Like in Denmark Street, Tim. I don't know if you've ever visited Denmark Street before. Yep. I actually did a show there not so long ago. Actually, just a friend of mine run a small little show on in it's called 60 Sounds. It's a Gibson shop. It's basically all Gibson guitars, and we just did like a little kind of low key show there. That was pretty cool. But I mean, like, you used to have the 12 Bar Club next door to that. That's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Used to have the London Astoria. That's gone. The London Astoria 2. That's gone. The
12 Bar. The 12 Bar was the place with that weird balcony that was like at head level.
Yeah, man, really weird, tiny little stage, and then you kind of it's really, really strange.
Yeah, I played there,
but I loved it in there. It was so quirky. It was just like a little cave. It was so weird. It is another venue now. I can't remember the name of it. It's a bit more, but it's all just been gentrified. It's the same with Camden Town. There was so many venues in Camden Town back in the day. That's where I kind of cut my teeth in Camden. Half of those venues are gone now, man, or they're just not. It's just different. It's different, and it's a shame. But there is still a lot of cool places to play. I just don't play them anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of happening over here too. It was kind of like that with movie theaters. A lot of movie theaters were shutting down, and then you have movies like The Outwaters, Terrifier 2, Skinamarink. Bringing people to the theaters and giving them new life and being like, okay, so there is a profit here still. Still, people want to go to the theaters, and it's true. Like, horror has been saving, film, been saving music for some artists and whatnot. I guess another really interesting question that I could ask, and Salem, we'll start with you. Do you have like a dream collaboration or somebody that you would want to do music for, or a movie franchise or something? Is there something out there that you're like, I want this? This is a dream for me.
That's tough, or at least asking like dream collaboration. Like, my dream would be to make it as just a creatrix, meaning just somebody who creates art and also inspires others to create art in a way that brings like healing and is helpful for the world around us. But short of that, like, hefty goal, I would say a dream collaboration would be Danny Elfman.
Oh my God, going on tour with him. Woo!
Oh yeah, he's been a huge inspiration, and the Danny Tim combo has been like one of my biggest dreams growing up. So honestly, kind of hoping to find something here with the Salem Robbie
Hell yeah.
combo.
Hell yeah. What about you, Tim? Is there any dream collabs out there that you'd want to work with?
I couldn't even begin to think about it, but I'm quite excited about the little collaborations that I'm doing at the moment. So
I'm excited to hear them. I really, really am.
Most of my, if you want to call it a career, most of my life has been following the breadcrumbs and things like, this is a good example. Just you run into something, and who knows what's going to happen. So,
All right. I'm excited for the journey for both of you. I mean, Salem, this
Thanks.
seems like this really, helps spark your career. And Tim, you already had a career, but this definitely, sparked it even more with people being like, who are these artists? And, like when we got sent the list of people for us to interview, I was like, musicians, really? So I was like, I went to go check out both of your works because there's so many artists out there. Sometimes it's a bit hard. Oh no, we just lost Tim. 1 second. I'm going to rearrange this really quick. But yeah, seeing this and getting the emails and whatnot, and discovering Salem and Tim, who just dropped out because he had a little battery, and that's okay. Things happen. Technology hates us all. It's all good. But discovering artists from film, this reminds me like going back to almost like how it was so. Bands were in almost every 80s film, especially horror. Horror's always been having this like juncture with music, whether it be like heavy metal or whatever, or any kind of genre really. And seeing indie films, especially like the Outwaters, kind of still doing that tradition. I like to call it a tradition anyway, of combining actual musical artists in film instead of having somebody maybe on the team already. Like Robbie, obviously he made music for the film and he's had music made, but instead of having a different department in like a big, I don't know, like film company like Universal, like having somebody on standby doing music, and instead we're having actual artists like yourself, Salem, come and do music for films. It makes me happy, and it makes me have a little bit of nostalgia for movies that growing up I watched.
Absolutely. Yeah, that makes me think that's something really powerful about the indie film scene. And what I love so much about it is that there is so much creative freedom. I actually used to intern at a Hollywood management agency for a lot of film composers in the Hollywood industry. I was actually kind of disheartened by some of the things that I learned, which is that a lot of it seems to be not incredibly creative process. In like the Hollywood film blockbuster industry, there's very specific kinds of chords you can and cannot use because the music is not meant to draw a certain kind of attention. And so there's a lot of just like restriction that I was kind of shocked to learn about. So anyways, I haven't felt that at all working with Robbie. And I think I prefer that the indie music scene, you can actually like create music that does draw a lot of attention and carry the story a little bit.
Yeah, like you go back to these studios, these bigger studios are so like cookie cutter with everything, with how they have to have their beats in films and how a script has to be written. Even when it comes to the score, like you're saying, you can only use certain amount of things, or they only want to use this one person for all these films. And it's like there's so much more opportunity to have more originality when you're reaching out to people like yourself for films.
I guess that's why we love people like Danny Elfman, though, because he really kind of breaks that mold, doesn't he? Like you're talking about Danny Elfman. I mean, Tim Burton movies are definitely, big budget movies, and Danny Elfman's like all over the place. It's great. He's just,
That's exactly actually why he's been such a massive inspiration of mine. I think even as a kid, I was just aware of just the sheer, you hear what he does and it doesn't sound like anything else in any other film going on. And you can even watch a movie and not know it was composed by Danny Elfman and just, oh, this sounds like Danny. Okay. And then it is. It's just like, he really is a very, very unique film composer in this market, considering his ability to do that. And that's what I'm very inspired by.
And I only realized the other day that he was in Oingo Boingo.
Yes, that was oh my God. And that's another example. I love that he finds this cross between the songwriter, the performing songwriter, and the art music composer scene, because there can be such a huge split there. Like, are you a songwriter or are you a composer? And like, you're a creator of music. You're a weaver of sound.
Absolutely,
It's just a matter of whether you like to focus more in one genre or another, and I love that about Tim too. And unfortunately, he's not here right now, but he's got this incredible like genre bending happening in the sense that he's very much got this punk persona, and you can see that influence. But he also is such a talent in the bluegrass and folk realm, and his merging of these two worlds you just don't see very often. And actually, that's something else I love about Robbie. He does tend to draw in very eclectic types of artists. So the Outwaters has kind of become like a celebration of that that genre bending.
Yeah.
The word I'm
Yeah.
looking.
Yeah, I agree on that. I
Yeah.
really do. And you know, after listening to a lot of Tim's music, I agree on that. Like, he's got a personality, and your personality too. It's I don't know if I would want to say aggressive, but it's louder, and I like that. I love the two complete opposites, really. And then you have Robbie's music is kind of like in the middle right there to kind of break everything and keep everything aligned. And I enjoyed that a lot about the film, and I really hope I don't think we asked him, Dean, if there's going to be an official like soundtrack coming out for this.
No, we
I
didn't.
hope there is. Do you know anything about that, Salem?
It's possible. It's been in talks. Robbie is trying to work it out. It's just a matter of logistics.
Yeah.
So it may or may not happen, but we're trying to figure it out.
I hope it happens because I want that on vinyl. I have a stack of movie vinyls right over there, and I need it.
Yes, whatever it takes. I want to make sure that the Outwaters is right there in that
Yes.
stack.
Hell yeah. Dean, I know you've been collecting some vinyls. I just got you one for Christmas too, so we
You
got to add
did,
that
man.
one. We have to make sure it works, man. I'll
I need
reach
to
out
get
to
myself
Robbie.
a vinyl player.
The
I
thing
got a load of
is,
vinyl. I got nothing to play on.
well, I have one too, but honestly, I have them because they're just so beautiful to look at. Like obviously I
Yeah.
want to play them, and sometimes I buy two. I have one that I play, and then I have one I just save just to look at. You know?
Oh yeah, man! I used to be such a collector when I was younger as well. Like I used to go to all these record fairs and try and look for bargains and stuff. And you'd walk in there, and it just had this smell of
Yeah.
old vinyl. You know, and you're flicking through it, and you just get that waft of like
Yep.
the
I know
old
exactly what you're
record
talking
smell.
about.
Do you know what I mean? I love it. It's great. It's like musty old record smell.
Hell yeah.
Just reminds me of like my dad. You know, my stepdad had a really cool collection of all like old Pink Floyd records and like really early Elton John stuff, just loads of cool shit, loads of Zeppelin and all that kind of stuff. And I just remember that smell. And I'd walk into a record fair and be like, there's that cool smell, you know.
I wonder if they've made any candles yet that have that like old vinyl or old library smell.
Yeah, right. That
Maybe
needs to be invented.
You should do that, Salem. You should definitely do that.
Yeah, I'll start my candle making business on the side.
Yeah. And then on every candle there's a barcode for a song.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, this is bad. I don't need any more ideas.
Or you have to
We've
burn
got-
the candle to get to the bottom for that song.
Yes. Oh my
Oh.
God.
That way you have every time you hear that
Candle.
song, you smell that smell. You know, so you have to
Yes.
associate.
Oh, dude, we've hit upon some classic ideas in this.
All right,
in
but this is not gonna be airing. I'm sorry, Salem. This episode's gonna be just in a can because there's so many
Yes.
great ideas.
Too many people taking them. I'm down.
No, this has been great, and I ran through all of my questions. Dean, I know you ran through all of yours. Do you have any questions for us, Salem?
I do. What on earth is that Art Krispies in your that bottom left?
This was you can get it off. Actually, I don't know if it's still in the shop. It might be from the Terrifier shop. They were selling like all like the replicas. It's actually when we talked to Steve Barton 2 weeks ago, and he said that this like everything that's on here is actually like what was on screen. So everything on here is like screen accurate. So there's a bigger one. This is the smaller version. I can get like a full size one. I think they're still in the Terrifier shop. So you might be able to still get it there. I think. Try not to promote too much of that.
I never saw. Yeah, I didn't see Terrifier, but I was just. It looks so quirky, so I had to.
You need to. And
yeah.
no, this is another really crazy thing too. Is that your music is on a streaming service now? It's going to be on Screenbox, which that's huge. That's huge.
Yes, that is huge. This is definitely my first big, I guess, thing to sort of put me out there. I haven't done actually a whole lot of interviews recently. I did the last interview before this last week sort of Outwater stuff I did was back in when I was 14. I was gigging in coffee shops. And so they were like, oh, we want to
Wow.
go talk to a little girl who's doing shows. So anyways, it's been a while. So it has been really exciting to finally have, and to hear my music in theaters. That was,
Yes. Yes, it's great. I really, when you have the chance, I suggest that you go anywhere, at any theater, just to see what it sounds like. It's really, really good with the
oh
big
yeah.
speakers, and even like all the other sound design that Robbie has going on, like with all the booms and everything. It is so loud and haunting. I love it. Like Dean, I know you were just listening through your headphones, and you were even like, dude, these booms, like I don't even know.
Yeah,
They were crazy.
yeah, man.
Absolutely
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'd love to hear it in a theater though. I'd love
Tunes.
to see it in a theater. It's an audio experience, isn't it? The film.
Yeah, we actually just wrapped up talking to Scott and Bo. They were saying that the movie is going to be potentially in the UK theaters very soon because I guess they have a person out there who's looking for buyers over in the UK market. So going to be over in the UK soon too, Salem's. That's
Hell yeah.
big achievements going around here, and I want to see you in more films. So hopefully, either Robbie reaches out to you or some other lucky filmmakers like, hey, we want your stuff on our film, and
Oh yeah. Well,
even all
uh,
your independent stuff. I'm excited for that as well.
thank you. Yeah, I'm excited to start gigging more. I definitely will be putting more out there over the next couple months. And I would love to do more film work, especially more horror stuff, or if people are looking for really quirky music that's got a lot of personality for your film, absolutely. That's what I want to do. So,
Hell yeah, we're gonna make careers happen over here, Dean. We're gonna do it. This has been a blast, and Salem, I mean, thank you for taking the time away. Tim, his phone died, so unfortunately we couldn't get the goodbyes properly, but we kind of preemptively did that just in case. So thank you, Salem, for coming over here and chatting with us.
yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Been a blast. And when your new music comes out, I want to get you back on. I want to dissect all the music with you.
Yes,
I really
I
want
would.
to do that.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll definitely send you my new releases as they come out, and I would be more than happy to be back.
Hell yeah, that'd be great. I want to really dive into more music on this show. It doesn't have to be horror related. There's a lot of things I want to go and branch into on this podcast, and music is definitely one of them because we haven't had any musicians on. So to have both of you and
We
Tim on,
could be speaking to the next Danny Elfman.
yeah,
I mean, exactly.
hell
You never
yeah.
know. Okay, well, hopefully I can make that come true for you guys.
Oh yeah,
Been a
absolutely,
blast. This has
absolutely.
been an absolute blast.
Catch up with you guys, and I would love to hear you do more with your music stuff too, because it sounds like you guys have both got the music bones in you.
Oh, Dean's working on some stuff right now for Dean actually does hot sauce, horror themed hot sauce. So if
Oh,
you need a
wow.
hot sauce for your music,
You know what? I know where to go now.
you've done hot sauce for a couple bands, right? Dean?
Me,
Yeah, you.
I've done one. I've done one for the band, the Eagles of Death Metal. I've done one. I'm doing one now for Rob Zombie's brother,
Oh my God.
Power Man 5000. What other bands? I don't know. I'm doing.
I think that
I'm
was
doing
the
a
only
ton.
one as of right now, right?
That's the one right now. I've got a ton of collaborations. I'm doing one for Terrifier, the movie Terrifier. I'm just about to do one for the George Romero. They call him the GOF, the George Romero
Gar?
Foundation. Yeah, they want me to do one. So it's either going to be one for the 3 films: Dawn of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, Day of the Dead,
Okay.
like a box set of all 3, or it's just going to be one George Romero specific. I don't know what, but yeah, I don't know.
Okay, I didn't know about that one. I'm excited for that one. But yeah, Salem, if you need hot sauce, there's your man. For sure.
That is so creative. I will definitely be coming for a hot sauce.
Hell yeah.
Oh, are you on Instagram? I'll add you on Instagram. I'll find you on there.
I am. Yeah, Salem Belladonna.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I think I follow you already. I'll check it out.
All right. So this has been a blast. I guess we'll let you off the hook right now and let you go do some more creative work over there. and hopefully, other people get to talk to you and whatnot, and you get to go see the film in theaters. I'm really excited for you to go and see that, and let me know how your experience was. I'm very intrigued. Dean, as always, thank you for being here, dude, and we'll catch everybody
Having me, man.
on the next one.
All right. Thank you guys.